No, one of the most common habits that newer players have that they try to break early is their rolling habit. And usually it comes from them asking for like some sort of advice like, hey, what can I do better against someone that they were playing against? And they said you roll too much, right? Like, oh, it's a bad habit you have, so just try to work on that. So what people tend to start doing is they stop rolling at all, but rolling too much is just another form of a habit that you can have, just like anything you do in this game. And it's really important to understand how to roll and how to utilize it. And to be honest, for a long time I didn't even know how to use roll. Like, mind you, I've been playing this game since Brawl, so I've been playing for over 10 years, and I didn't start understanding how to roll honestly until the end of the Smash 4 era, because I played Lucas in Brawl and he had some really quick out of shield options. So like my game mostly, and shield was really strong in that game, so my game mostly revolved around shielding and like out of shield punishes, and even in Smash 4 to an extent, shield was pretty strong option. So I never learned like how to roll until one day I realized that in situations where like I should be rolling, I would, like, for example, if I knew someone was gonna grab me at the ledge, I would just hold shield because I hadn't understood how to roll or how to use spot dodge or anything of that sort. So learning how to roll is actually a really important tactic, and I guess I'm just here to teach you like some of the ways that I've learned how to use roll, and maybe it could be some ways that you can be more aware and more conscious of your roll usage. So one of the biggest times that people tend to roll tend to be when they're in the corner, their opponent's just kind of pressuring them, and they roll out of the corner, right? And honestly, I understand the reason that they tend to do it. And it's not a bad option, right? Because in the corner, you only have but so much space you can work with. And getting behind your opponent is nice, right? And of course, you can do your jumps or like your aggressive options forward if you have burst options, or like sliding down tilts. If you have a projectile, you can stay in place. Like, you have space to work with, but there's so much pressure on you to make a decision that normally you end up rolling out of the corner. But understanding why you're doing it and how you can use that roll is what's really important. So let's say you roll out of the corner, and the next time you roll out of the corner, someone is already like preemptively charging an up smash or something, right? And you roll into it. Your thought process should then turn from, okay, this person is now aware that I am rolling out of the corner, so I have time and I have different choices that I can make with that. So if, like, let's say you got up from the ledge, you instantly rolled out of the corner, the opponent just started charging up smash. Let's say next time you got up from the ledge and they missed their ledge trap, and they're like, okay, well, this person's gonna roll, and they just start charging up smash. Well, you get a free punish. You could like stand there and get like a charge down smash. Why did that kill, huh? Or you could like take stage control. You can hit them with a bread and butter combo depending on their percent. There's tons of different things you can do, and that's just one example of how to use roll. So one big example that I don't think people realize or appreciate much or talk about a lot is using roll to reset neutral. So let's say Mario's pressuring your shield and he decides to do like short hop double up air or short hop up air nair. If you were to do, this is gonna be kind of hard, but if you were to do up air roll in between that, let's say that forward air was a nair, you would have gotten out of the situation and you would have put yourself back in neutral because you broke the combo or the block string with a roll, which can be very important in a lot of situations. Like if you notice Wario, for example, Wario has Waft and he's just like wailing on your shield with like short hop up air or like nair into short hop up air or whatever. Like you can use roll to get out of that situation completely, and you're not scared of like him just wailing on your shield or eventually like calling out a spot dodge. Because you gotta, one of the most important things about roll is that yes, it gives you invincibility, but spot dodge also gives you invincibility. The difference is rolling changes your position on the screen, and that's what I had to understand when I was trying to learn how to use roll. It was like, why would I ever roll when I could just spot dodge? But a lot of situations, like if Mario were to do that up air and nair and spot dodge, you don't have anything quick enough as like Wolf, for example, to get the pressure off of you. So normally you would have to do like spot dodge roll, you would have to do double spot dodge, or you would do spot dodge shield, and then you're in the exact same position, but your resource of shield is way smaller because you hit your shield twice. So it was like, oh, okay, well that's completely different. Like now I can just reset to neutral and we can continue to play the game from there. So I think when like people are rolling a lot of times, they're just preemptive rolls, like they're doing them without like recognizing the situation that they're in. And I believe that pretty much all defensive options are reactive tools. Like air dodging is a reactive tool because they're so fast, right? They're normally like frame 2 or frame 3. Defensive options, all like rolls, spot dodges, air dodges, normally like frame 2 or frame 3. So like they're fast enough where you can just see the situation occurring and you're like, okay, I react here. Obviously there are some situations where you can get baited into doing the defensive options, but that's another topic for another time. But I believe that all defensive options can be used reactively instead of proactively, and a lot of times when I see people roll, they're very proactive rolls, they're very preemptive, and they usually get themselves in a lot of trouble. And that's how you create a roll habit, because you preemptively think to yourself, I'm in this situation, I have to roll, or I'm doing this and they're going to do this, so I have to roll. But really, you could just go, I'm in this situation, let me see what they're gonna do, and then decide to roll. One big example, in the corner is like really easy to use, is if you're in the corner and they notice you like to shield a lot and they go for dash grabs a lot, and you see them dash, then you roll, right? Because if you did it before they even committed to the dash, then they could just turn around or they could up smash you or whatever, and then you're like, dang, like why did I roll? And they start to think to yourself like, oh, okay, well, I have more time to wait to see what they're gonna do because they're gonna do something immediately. So when you wait to roll, it's more on them to make a good play by saying, okay, well, he likes to roll here, so maybe I should do this. Like, those are two actions instead of like just standing here doing absolutely nothing. They have to be more proactive in the situation, and you can be reactive, which is always generally better in like fighting games, just to put yourself in reactive situations instead of situations where you have to be proactive to succeed, because normally reacting is just better. That's why they always say like defensive play wins games. It's just so much easier to be a reactive player than a proactive player, because you have to be correct more often than not, where reactively you don't have to be right or wrong, you just react to whatever's happening, which is much easier to do. Now if you're one of those people that's just rolling for no reason, or like they do a button, safe button in a roll, or that's just how they play neutral, like every time someone gets near them they roll, well, you need to like identify why you feel the need to roll, because it's normally deeper than just you rolling. Normally it's like I'm uncomfortable when people are this close to me, so I roll away to get this space, or I'm uncomfortable with my block strings or my pressure after I hit someone's shield, so I roll away to reset neutral, because neutral is where I feel more comfortable, and certain distances is where I feel more comfortable. In that case, it's much less about you having a roll habit, and it's more about you learning how to be comfortable with your character at all distances, which is completely different than being told you have a roll habit. Like, normally the reason you do something, there's a why behind it. Like, if there's a what you're doing and then there's a why behind it, and the why behind it could be plenty of different reasons, and it's up to you honestly to identify it. But I'm just giving one example of a potential reason that it could be why you're rolling, if you tend to like roll across the screen or something like that, or you could just be one of those players that don't have the knowledge to know what to do after certain situations. And in that case, again, it's more about you learning more about the game, learning more about your character, and being more comfortable in your decisions. So if I had to give like a quick TLDR of like 3 quick ways to improve stopping your rolling habit, one would be to identify the when and the why you're rolling, not just the what of rolling itself, but understanding what's making you want to roll, whether it's you being uncomfortable with your character or uncomfortable in the situation. Number 2 will be learning how to use your roll as a reactive tool instead of a preemptive or a proactive tool. And 3 would be being aware of the situations in which you roll, so you can use rolling as a tool to open up other options such as jumping or such as attacking in situations where you normally roll. So that's going to be it for this video. Please like and subscribe if you want me to continue making informative or tutorial like content, and comment with any suggestions or ideas that you want me to talk about. Peace.